Today, we're learning about what risk factors are and why they matter, then looking at different types of risk factors that can make us more likely to get certain diseases, seeing how these factors affect people differently depending on where they live, and finally, exploring why this matters for individuals, families, and society. So, what exactly is a risk factor? Simply put, it's something that makes you more likely to develop a particular disease. But here's an important point. Having risk factors doesn't mean you'll definitely get a disease. It just increases your chances. Think of it like this. If you don't revise for an exam, you have a higher risk of failing, but some people might still pass without revising. Risk factors come in different types. Some are related to your lifestyle, like what you eat, how much you exercise, or whether you smoke. Others are environmental, like pollution in the air or chemicals you might be exposed to. Some risk factors you can't control, like your age or family history, but many others you can change. What makes non communicable diseases tricky is that they're usually caused by several risk factors working together, not just one thing. Risk factors affect people differently around the world. Let's look at the global, national, and local levels. Globally, in wealthier countries, people tend to have more non communicable diseases like heart disease and diabetes. This is often because people can afford fast food, have more sedentary jobs, and drive rather than walk. In less developed countries, people might have different health problems, though non communicable diseases are increasing there too. At the national level, even within the UK, there are big differences between regions. Some areas have higher rates of smoking or obesity than others, often linked to factors like income levels and education. Government policies on things like cigarette prices and food labeling can make a big difference nationally. Locally, even neighborhoods in the same city can have very different health patterns. Some local areas might have lots of fast food shops, but few parks or sports facilities. Other neighborhoods might have more air pollution if they're near busy roads or factories. These local factors combine to create hotspots, where certain diseases are much more common. Some risk factors directly cause diseases. Smoking is the clearest example. The chemicals in cigarettes directly damage your lungs and blood vessels. When you smoke, tar coats your lungs and toxic chemicals enter your bloodstream, damaging cells throughout your body. Carrying too much body fat can lead to diabetes because it affects how your body responds to insulin. Your cells become less sensitive to insulin, making it harder for your body to control blood sugar levels. Drinking too much alcohol directly harms your liver, which has to work overtime to process the alcohol in your blood. Over time, this can cause liver cells to die and be replaced by scar tissue. During pregnancy, smoking or drinking alcohol can directly harm the developing baby. Scientists find risk factors by looking for patterns in data, but it's important to understand the difference between correlation and causation. Just because two things happen together doesn't mean one causes the other. For example, not exercising and eating lots of fatty foods are linked to heart disease, but these behaviors don't directly damage your heart. They cause high blood pressure and cholesterol, which then damage your arteries. Non communicable diseases have huge impacts on people's lives. Millions die each year from these diseases, and many more have a poorer quality of life. These diseases also cost a lot of money, both for the healthcare system and for families affected by them. Healthcare systems spend billions on treating conditions that could potentially be prevented. Families might need to adapt their homes or reduce working hours to care for someone with a chronic illness. If someone can't work because of illness, their family might struggle financially. When lots of people in a country are ill, it affects the whole economy. Fewer people working means less money being made. Understanding risk factors is super useful because it helps us make better choices for our health. Making small, sustainable changes to our lifestyle can have a big impact on our health, both now and in the future.